All right, we're live. Peace and blessings, everybody. If you're hearing this, you're worthy and you're blessed. You know what it is. This is the official inauguration of Trap Rehab TV. I know it's gonna be kind of glitchy, but that's all right. Things gonna work out how they're supposed to. Um, Today I'm talking to one of the people who inspired me to keep going in business and awakened me to a lot of things. Miss Nicole Lee, the doula of entrepreneurship. She is a business coach and an excellent author. So excellent that I decided we're going to talk about her book today. I don't know if you can see it because, you know, we're working with what we can work with, but yeah, Awaken the King, if you've seen it. Let's go back there right there. Y'all know me, I'm a mad scientist. I'm always trying to put something together with what I got, but
Right.
okay, that's all right. You seen it was the cover of Awaken the King. Um,
Yes, yes.
how you doing, Nicole? I'm gonna let you say something real quick.
Yeah, yeah. Well, thank you for the intro. Bah, bah, bah,
Hmm
bah, bah, bah.
I'm gonna have them sounds on one of the next ones
Right.
too. Yeah.
Yes.
So
It's
what
awesome
we're
to be
talking
here.
about?
Thank you.
Oh, go ahead,
Oh,
go ahead, go
awesome to
ahead.
be here, Kayla. Thank you for inviting me to your podcast. I'm grateful to be a part of your journey.
Awesome. Appreciate your help so far and everything. Um, Here's what we'll do. We'll
Okay.
go over chapter 5 of your book because it corresponds in a way with chapter 5 in my book. Chapter 5 in Trout Rehab is who do we want to be? And that's basically it starts out we all have an example of somebody successful whose life we think we want to live. And it kind of goes through points that's relative to that about, things that you look up to, things that you consider to be success, and then ways that you go about getting that patterning people that you admire or outcomes that you saw other people have that you assume is like the way to do things. But then what happens is you compound that stuff into your personality, into your actions, and you become some of those things. And some of
Right.
us have been consumed by things that would make a negative energy in us, so that's why you end up with fear, nervousness, anger, any of the negative emotions that cause things to disrupt in your life. Now, as I'm looking at chapter 5 in Nicole's book, it is about the solar plex chakra. Now, I'm going to let Nicole discuss her book with you, but first of all, Nicole, tell us what inspired you to come to this understanding and, other things that you feel comfortable talking about.
Sure, Caleb. And again, thank you for having me here on your podcast.
Yeah.
So, in regards to the chakra system, um, started to do some studies because I was seeking along my spiritual journey. Um, and I knew that we as African Americans, just me being a Black woman living on this earth, I had to find some reasoning of why we go through what we go through here on earth. And I needed some clear understanding. Now, I have a fantastic relationship with God, my creator of all things good. And just being in meditation with the presence of God, he started guiding me along this journey to discover about, what's really going on from the inside and why we go through some of the issues here on earth, as Black people. I'm always discovering like why. I'm always questioning myself, like, why is this happening? Why did this happen? So in order to figure out why the things are happening, I had to go deeper to figure out what's going on with me as an individual Black woman. So everything starts from childhood, right?
Yeah.
And that's how we're pretty much molded um, based off our childhood and influences. And that's what kind of molds us from our parents, family, school, church. So we become this this person, this being. And as we walk through life, challenges comes up, and then it's all about how you respond to it and things of that nature. So I started going a little deeper during this discovery and came upon the Willie Lynch syndrome letter. Are you familiar with that, Caleb?
Yeah, definitely. I've read that.
And there was an excerpt from it that got me really going about this whole journey. Um, so I'd like to read an excerpt from it,
Yeah, definitely.
how the
Go ahead.
journey started. So it says, by throwing the nigger female savage into a frozen psychological state of independency, by killing the protective male image, by creating a submissive, dependent mind of the nigger male savage, we have created an orbiting cycle that turns on its own axis forever, unless a phenomenon occurs and reshifts the position of the female savage.
Mm, that's good. That's
So what
good.
pulled at me, I was like, unless a phenomenon occurs and reshifts the position of the female savage. So that's what pulled on me because I thought, what phenomenon has to occur for us to really get us back into our place,
Yeah, a
right?
reshift for the image. That goes to show you they had some understanding of things being off within you psychologically and physically and spiritually.
See that?
Hmm.
So you see how just that excerpt, because the letter is super long, but that
Hmm.
excerpt alone starts stirring some
Hmm.
ideas about, because I wanted to get to the phenomenon. I'm like, well, what do we need to do to get to the phenomenon? And it starts from within.
Hmm.
And it's really all based on how we respond because of our emotions through our traumas.
Hmm.
And that led me to start going into the chakra system because I wasn't too familiar about it at first. I had heard about it and I knew me as an individual soul that we operate based off of energy because that's all we are. Without this physical body, we're just a light, like the
Yeah,
stars,
just
right?
energy.
And so that's energy flow. And a lot of times that flow gets out of balance. And it's because of all the trauma we've been through. And a lot
Hmm.
of the trauma is based off our emotions. So if we're anxious, if we're depressed, if we're angry, all of those can misalign the energy source, the chakra,
Yeah.
which is the energy between the body and the spirit that flows the balance of the physical body and the spirit. It can get out of alignment. And so that's where I started deepening my understanding about the chakra system and really tapped into realizing that's the phenomenon.
Wow. And can I tap in on something kind of like something to compare it to? This is how it went in my mind when you said that. We're like spirits getting carried in a vessel,
Yep.
and when that vessel gets damaged, the way that your travel is thrown off.
Yep.
That's all. That's what's happening.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep. And it affects your mind, it affects your thinking, it affects your understanding about life,
Mhm.
period, and your purpose. All of
Mhm.
those things are tied up into this. So they knew to use that as a tool to throw us off our track. And it's
Mhm.
been working.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, as like I say, with the ability to consume information so fast, we're learning all of this stuff and realizing, like, now that we can, I guess, awaken as a people, and that's where we get into this awakening the king. Let me kind of go over. Okay, I'm gonna tell you, I chose chapter 5 because of the what was the epiphany that was given to me while we were looking at this. So we'll start there. But for me personally, I need to kind of open up some awareness to number 4. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the things that opened my eyes, like, why does it sound, very familiar? So,
Okay.
okay, we'll start with 5 because it corresponds with what we're talking about.
Now, this
The
from your book or my book?
No, this is your book. So
Okay,
the
gotcha.
solar plexus chakra. Go ahead and talk about that a little bit.
That chapter.
Yeah.
Okay, so understand there's 7 chakras
Mm-hmm.
that we endure within the body. So starting from the bottom, we have the root, the sacral, the solar plexus, the heart, the throat, the third eye, and then the crown.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like an alignment. If
Mm-hmm.
you can envision it in your back, that root is right there at the base of your spine.
Mm-hmm.
And in order for me to talk about the solar plexus, I want to at least share the other energy sources that comes before it, because
Definitely, definitely.
one when one is out of alignment, you want to start from the base
Wow,
to
yeah,
clear
that
it before
makes
you
all
get
the
to the
sense.
next. So you can't like open your third eye if your solar plexus is blocked.
Okay.
Every chakra has to be an awakening, and even to get into the third eye chakra.
Mm-hmm.
So we talk about the root chakra. So the root chakra represents survival, your conscious mind. So it's related to the position in your family and money. So however you're experiencing life when it comes to your family and money, that'll tell you if that chakra is out of alignment. So say you're
Mm-hmm.
struggling in the money
Yeah.
component. So and say you're having some traumatic experiences within your family, there's no harmony. That's because that energy source is out of alignment. And a lot of it is because of how we were raised. We're doing a generational cycle of things, and so the
Yeah.
goal is to break that curse, because that's what it is. It's a generational curse that continues from generations to generations, and that's why going back to reading the Willie Lynch letter, they implanted that for us to not have harmony within ourselves. And so we have to go back to the original. And a lot of it starts from our childhood. So
Wow.
however you were treated as a child, um, what you were going through in your childhood when it comes to money, like did y'all struggle? And so that is repeated as a generational, um, it's repeated. And so the best way to get out of it is to clearly understand why. And so
Wow.
from the root chakra, you go to the sacral chakra. That's tapped into your creativity, subconscious mind, and that's related to your appetite and your sensuality. So what that is, that ties into um, some of the habits that we have. Like
Mm.
we as Black folks, and not all, but we tie into things to comfort us because of our trauma. So food, alcohol, and drugs.
Yeah.
And so if we overindulge in those things, it's because that chakra is out of alignment.
Hmm.
So it kind of makes you look at yourself.
Wow.
And
So
so
wait a minute. So you could have other things that are okay, but that whatever it is on the way, like, wow, because you said if you got this wrong up here, you have to start down here because all the other stuff, it could possibly, like, once you get that, boom, 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 everything line up.
you
Wow.
see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Go
And
ahead.
it
Go
could
ahead.
be
That's
it could
it.
be just something as simple as going to therapy and talking about your issues
Yeah.
and how you grew up. That alone, that conversation is stirring that energy source to
Yeah.
become in an alignment. Because a lot of times we take stuff in and we suppress it, and then we wonder why we get sick. And that's where this dis-ease and disorder comes from,
Yeah.
because we're suppressing all of these emotions. Because that's what it
Yeah.
is.
Dis-ease. That's what disease is. Just is simply dis-ease. And
Yep.
if you could come to ease.
Right. You see how
Yeah.
the words start to
Yeah.
have more meaning?
Yeah. And start to feel that in yourself. Ease. Yeah.
Yep.
Ease. And find where you need some
Hmm.
ease at.
Hmm. That's
Okay.
where the power of meditation, why that's so key. Because
Yeah.
that's a fantastic tool to help move the energy,
Yeah.
keep it from being stuck. Now it's a process. Of course, I
Yeah.
said it's a deepening study that went with it. But when you talk about specifically the solar plexus, um, I mean, so what made you choose this particular chapter?
I told you that's because it aligned with 5 and it was like go to 5. I told you that I mean that kind of showed everything when I said it the way, I didn't look and see that it's sacral chakra. I'm sacral chakra. So that show you where my mind was at with it. And I'm like, this area is someplace that I need work in. You know what I'm saying? Differentiate
Y'all
when
need work in.
yeah, you know what I'm
You
saying?
know
But
what I'm
it's like
saying?
but yeah, it's like and it's something that I like to it's a demon I'd like to conquer. Say
Okay.
because I know things will be better in my relationship. I know things be better in my I me creativity. I feel like right now, and I believe that's why I'm wanting to work on it because I'm shaking the creativity part.
Yep.
And it's like,
That's
hey, the
stirring it.
creativity is like, we can achieve something with this if you fix this over here. You know what I'm saying? At
Mhm,
least,
mhm.
what I'm saying? The way
Or
you,
heal.
yeah,
Heal
yeah.
from. We'll say heal
We'll
because
say
if you
heal
say
it. Yeah,
fix, you're
because
making like something wrong with you. No,
yeah,
shit.
nah, heal
A
means
lot of this is you was born with a lot of this stuff. And so you got to work through it because a lot of
yeah,
times we're living the sins of our fathers, you know.
yeah.
And so,
And it goes right back to what you said with the root chakra,
right.
generational curses. Have you ever read the book by T.D. Jakes um for men or for black men? I hate that I can't remember the name off top to quote it, but he talked about in that book how when we were and captured people that we were basically the males that were strong were basically used like studs. You
Yep.
know what I'm saying? So you go here, 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 and you go here, 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 and she take care of the kids. You use a stud. That's what you do. You know what I'm saying? I'm going back over. So
So
that
making babies,
mentality
what you're
that's
talking
in
about.
there. Hmm?
Using them to produce
Yeah, you're
only.
basically prize horse. Boom, boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom. You produce more good, strong workers, and that's
Hmm.
all you do. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
entertain us in another way that goes back to the Titans. I chase rabbits all day with that, but and
Oh, you watch you like
uh,
to Titans.
no, I mean that I just knowing
I've seen it, so I
reading
think
stuff
it's
about
yeah.
how the Titan. Well, I'm like, man, that sound a whole lot like take tight, like the understanding of how they would have titans for the king and basically
Right.
knights of honor, and then compare it to Django when they had the
Yeah.
Mandingo fighter boy. I'm gonna
That's what
fight
I
with
had
you.
in mind. It was
Yeah,
Django. Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
So that's basically what it was. You do that, and I send what's the name in there to please the Mandingos, and you know
Yep.
what I'm saying. They get them all riled up, and then send the
Yep.
girl in, so they'll make my baby. You know what I'm saying?
I
It's
do.
just yeah, it's
So that's interesting that you're talking about that. So that's where that sensuality comes from. So where
yeah.
some men become, or some any person can become oversexed.
Yeah, because it's like you
Yeah.
say, the generation before you, that's what they were used for. Then you get basically the amount of freedom that you do get, and you don't know how to raise a family.
Evelyn
Y'all
talk.
quiet there. I'm a stud. That's what I know how to do. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? You got the ones who knew how to farm and the ones who didn't. So he creeping around, just not only do he know how to um
Mm-hmm.
attract he know how to attract the woman out, you know what I'm saying,
Right.
because that's what he been doing, and
Mm-hmm.
it's a cycle, and next thing you know
Mm-hmm.
you at a point where you doing stuff like, man, why does this keep happening? And
Right.
I got more sense than this, you know what I'm saying, I
Right.
got more understanding, so why am I keep falling in this area?
Right.
And it's not that you're gonna be perfect after that, it's
Mhm.
just like you say, healing things that you don't understand about yourself and
Right.
trying to do better, you know what I'm saying.
Right.
That's what it's about, becoming a better being on this travel.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's what life is all about,
Yeah.
us trying to figure it all out. I
Hmm.
mean, I believe that the earth is the classroom, you
Yeah, that's
know, and
exactly.
we're here in training
Yeah.
for something greater.
Yeah. And pardon me, I look at Maze Runner for some reason.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what I see. It's like, okay, no, I figured it. Okay, we get out through here, boom, boom. Okay, we all right. Like, boom, okay, that was a test to go to
Mhm.
this test. And you be like, dang, that went over, boom, boom, until you get to
Right.
the point. where you're sure that you can have victory over negativity, and I believe that's what
Yes,
your purpose will be then. Boom. You're here to
absolutely.
you're so good at conquering negativity, you can continuously do it eternally. You know what I'm saying? No
Absolutely.
problem. Wow. That's
Absolutely.
it.
And I
Yeah.
think when we have children, I think that's is mandated for us as parents
Yeah.
to unravel those chains. 'Cause the goal is to teach, right? And to
Yeah.
share.
So let's go back to the root and talk about the root again. We'll start from the root, like you say, and
Right.
we'll work our way back up. Okay. So I'm gonna give you what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you my understanding of it, and we bounce off of that. Like it clean it up if that like but then
Okay.
again, to me everything is for understanding is within. It's per person. But
Right, because your
yeah,
understanding could expand on what I've said, and you'll expand it based off of your understanding, which will give
yeah,
me some more understanding. You know what I'm saying? So we could build
yeah.
off of it.
Yeah, because you'd be like, oh, damn, I never looked at it like that.
Yeah, right,
Yeah.
right, right, right.
Okay, we kind of pretty much laid it down on that because we kind of went back to that before, but root is basically, it's just like a tree. It's the beginning.
Mhm.
Whatever you began with, whatever it started from, and stuff that you are birthed from. Because
Right.
other people's beginning ain't been fixed. Bad soil, that's in like we're not gonna say bad soil, we're gonna say soil with, that needs work just to keep it
Mm,
light. So that's the root.
okay. Okay. So the root chakra represents or is tied to survival
Mhm.
in the conscious mind. Let's see,
Mhm.
right now people are operating in survival mode.
Yeah. So this kind of goes into the our Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
What's
You
that?
know, I'm talking about the triangle, the hierarchy of needs, where it shows like
Talk
the
about that.
okay, boom, that kind of matches it. Okay,
Yeah.
root
See how it's
chakra.
going now? Okay.
Yeah. Okay,
So we
root
practicing. Go
chakra. The
ahead.
first is if you ever read the hierarchy of needs, it's kind of the same. It's like when the bottom of the pyramid is food, shelter, survival,
Mhm.
life, just surviving whatever. And like you say, a lot of people are just right there. That's where they're at. Okay, so
It's
that's root
valid.
chakra. Mhm.
It's valid why they're operating like that.
Oh yeah, cause I mean if you like I say, if you have limited of that and you've never had, especially if you've never had to be in survival mode. So that's why you see people panicking now that normally wouldn't panic because they've never had to be there. Now,
Mhm.
somebody like me, I've been there enough times to
Yep.
know that the Most High gonna bring me through. I always
Right.
has, always will. So
Right.
that's why I claim that first, and
Right.
I now feel like I have enough understanding and tools that I was blessed with to be able to, what I'm saying, make it through that. So yeah,
Hmm.
that's where we at with that.
So
So
if you think about that, Black's been surviving since we got here.
yeah,
And now you have those who haven't been used to surviving, they're struggling. And so
yeah,
now we're becoming the resource for them on how to operate
yeah.
because they never had the need to be on survival mode. And we've
Mm-mm.
mastered.
Yeah, now you're at the point like, wait a minute, and like I say, that's why it goes back into root chakra, why we all as a people need reparations.
That
You know what
part.
I'm
That's
saying?
where that
So
money can come. That's good. That's good
yeah,
stuff.
and because if the country or this nation was a person and a trauma happened to it generations ago, that epigenetically affects the nation. So basically, let me pull it
Oh, that's
down
good
because we're trying
stuff.
to
There you
teach.
go.
We're trying to teach.
Yeah, that's it.
If
It's,
the nation was a person and its ancestor and its people before it did something that would affect it, the same as your chakra being thrown out, the same as your subconscious, and you don't understand why you're worried about things like people coming across the border, the economy, foreign countries, people that don't look like what your ideal picture of the nation is. Why is that a worry in the back of your mind? Because the idea was built off of that worry, off of that wrong negative energy. We are at a point now where we should have enough understanding as a people to know that if our nation is a living thing, we can realign it by repairing what was done basically subconsciously
That's
to
right.
us as a nation. You know what I'm saying? That's what it.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. They take when they so the idea is to take care of us will
Yeah,
reset this country
yeah,
back to the original reason of why we're here.
yeah. Yeah, it goes all the way back. That's why, yeah. If
So why
we,
would that be? Why would they fear that? I mean, I understand they would lose power, but
yeah, and I
children
don't
and
think it's,
children's children will be able to live life more abundantly.
yeah, that's
You know what
what,
I'm
and that's
saying?
the, yeah, that's the whole reason I'm pursuing it now is because I realize I'm like, man, if you can't give anything else to your children, you can give them a better future to where they're not at least dealing with some of the same poverty mentalities that you had to overcome as a kid. You know what I'm saying? And coming from me, my side and from the other side. You know what I'm saying? Because on our side, as BIPOC people, it's a lot of fear and anger. You know what I'm saying? Which is understandable. You
Absolutely.
know what I'm saying? But it's something that we need to overcome. And we're just asking for help to do that. Or if you if you can just not comment on it. You know what I'm saying? Don't put more negative energy into something that's when you see somebody trying to do something positive. See, this'll turn into a whole nother episode.
This is good though, because we're
We'll
figuring
be,
out, and that's what this is
yeah,
about. Is because you
yeah,
want each episode to flow into the next conversation
yeah, yeah.
of what is to talk about. So it
But
sounds like
that's probably gonna be solidly a lot of stuff rolls back around it because it's a relative. Like that's what,
right.
like I say, as I'm trying to heal myself, I'm also seeing that if I heal myself, is there gonna be a way for my daughter to do that? You know, saying my son, is it gonna be
Absolutely, it should
still, or
be
is he
a
gonna have to
domino
turn
effect.
around and still have to heal himself from the same stuff? You know,
Yeah.
well, if I clean it up in myself, is it gonna be right back in my son through his experiences? You know what I'm saying? Is he
Well,
gonna
I
go
believe
right
you'd
back
be the
through the same
resource for
thing?
him if that comes up, but you're modeling what it looks like, what it
Yeah,
should be.
yeah,
That's what we are as parents. We're supposed to be
yeah,
modeling so our children can live a better life. But if
yeah,
you don't heal yourself, they're going to carry that whole which is part of the curse is they're going to carry it into their children. So
right,
conversation, therapy, talking about it,
yeah,
that stirs that energy source within the body, because that's what a
wow,
lot of issues come from with the Black families. We don't talk,
yeah,
and how
and
important therapy is, because that therapy is what
yeah,
stirs those emotions to start getting back into the alignment.
yeah,
So therapy is essential
yeah,
to the alignment. Talking
yeah.
about it. And that's what we're doing. We're talking about it.
Yeah, this is like so yeah, so people can see, like I say, my kids will see this is how it's especially when they see a change in me, what I'm saying, when I start changing and things start progressing on all levels, it was like, well, dang, I seen that change and that I can be like, we can refer back to moments like this, you know what I'm saying, where we hashed it out, you know what I'm saying? I went to a mentor, to somebody who's seasoned in situations and asked from them. That's one of the reasons why I'm like, man, I was really excited and to be able to talk to you about this book because read it and it explained to me like some of the things like the energy and the spirit that you have. I'm like, okay, that's why it always is a good energy and it's always a good spirit. You know, we always find peace and a way to
Yeah,
line things up. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, this is the
yeah,
key, and it's good that this is the first episode because that it's the root. We gonna from the first episode, let's get to the
yeah.
root
I think we'll
and
start with
start.
the root
Yeah,
and
and
get more
start.
explanation about it.
This time I gotta go ahead and get things ready.
Okay.
Hey, I
I always
appreciate
want
your
to,
time.
yeah, but
I
this is
appreciate
good.
give your social, put your
Oh,
social.
okay. Oh, check me out at the doula of entrepreneurship.com.
Awesome, man. Peace and
Access to my
blessings.
books
Thank
are later there. But thanks for
you. Yeah,
having me,
yeah.
Caleb,
Thank,
and much success to you.
same as well.